How's it, guys? Nick watches rugby. Welcome back. Let's engage. So yeah, I've been thinking about the Springbok 23, Matchday 23, more and more as the time comes closer, as a lot of us have. And I've also been thinking of, Ellis Park and the kind of game that is going to be played there. We have our DNA, the power game. We do have that. The scrum, the line out more, the traditional Springbok way. But we know in Ellis Park at altitude, that's also a factor. And we also know how the Kiwis are going to play. They're going to run that ball. We've had a nice opportunity now to see them with these warm-up games and how they play and how good they are. And really they're looking hot, aren't they? The soft passes, the keeping the ball alive, driving through the channel, and just really quite a very high tempo game. And at Ellis Park, that's going to mean there's going to be a lot of running, and your match fitness, conditioning, all of those kind of mobility, all of those kind of things come into play. But also with the Springboks, we also have we've also changed, we've also evolved. We also have the running game. We've got Tony Brown in there. We've got Manie Libbok and Grant Williams, who I think are going to be starting. So we also run the ball a lot, and we're also going more for mobility as well. So we've got guys like Zach Porthen, the strong scrummager, Gerhard Steenekamp, strong scrummagers, but also quite mobile. And I think that's what's going to be preferred in this test match. And I do think that the match fitness, your conditioning for match fitness will also be a factor. So the guys who would typically get in, even if they've been injured in that, I don't think they do get in. I think we're going to go for the more battle-hardened guys, even if they don't have as much experience. So I think someone like Cobus Wiese gets in at lock with Ruan Nortje, so no Eben and Lut. I think someone like Jason Dixon gets in. Morning. I think he gets in. Yes, he does. There was a comment that I had about him giving penalties and the yellow card, and yes, he is. He's a bit of a wrecking ball. The discipline is the thing, but he's got that work rate. He's got the size, he's got the strength, and he's got the mobility. And he's got that match fitness. These guys have been playing in the Nations Championship. We saw when they come on against Argentina how the game turned. So Zach Porthen gets in for me on the bench instead of Vilcolo. We've got Jason Dixon on the bench for me. Paul de Villiers starting. No locks on the bench. We've got who else for the mobility side? And then Cobus Wiese as well, because of the match fitness. So it's a big call. I mean, the experience is not there as like with other players. But what do you do? I know, yes, you need experience, you need everything, but you don't want people undercooked going in. For the most part, I think having Sasha and Cobus on the bench, because you want to bring them in the second half to get them game time so they can potentially start the next game. But I think for Ellis Park first game, we don't want to be caught. We don't want to be caught with our pants down in terms of just going for size in the power game and going for guys who haven't had as much game time, like Vilcolo. He hasn't had as much game time as Zach Porthen recently. So, and also the mobility side, having the mobility around the park, moving around. I think I would go for him. So those are a couple of things, the mobility and the match fitness, that I think are going to shape the team that's chosen on Friday or Thursday, Friday, whenever they announce. I mean, I could be wrong. They could go for Eben, Lut. Franco Masters, I think, is back from injury. But would you do that? I wouldn't. I know they had had game time against Argentina. But you know, if you have Pieter-Steph du Toit and you have Jason Dixon on the bench and Pieter-Steph du Toit, they can cover lock, and then that opens up more on the bench. You know, so take a look at my team there that I have. Let me know your thoughts. I think all the kind of positions are covered. I like having Andre Esterhuizen there as well. Wrecking ball in the second half. You know, lungs are burning. Same with Jason Dixon, who can cover lock as well, or loose forward. Also wrecking ball and just mobile around the park. And then I think we got an edge on the breakdown by having more loose forwards in there. We've got Paul de Villiers, Pieter-Steph, Jasper Wiese, Cobus Wiese, who can cover, but he'll be playing lock. So the Wiese brothers there, which I like as well. Having the two brothers there, there's been some good chemistry with them on the field. And then Jason Dixon and Andre Esterhuizen on the bench, and Cameron Honeycomb. We had a storming game. Toss up between him and Eskom, but I've gone with Honeycomb. And he's also mobile, and he also gets around the park. So then we've got all these loose forwards in the game there. So yes, we might lose a little bit of an edge in the scrum, but the lineouts, you know, Cobus Wiese, Jason Dixon, it's good in the lineouts as well. So we don't lose much there. We got Pieter-Steph as well. We got Ruan Nortje there. Hopefully he can go all the way in the game. So I think we cover all the areas, but I think then we've got more mobility, and we've got more match fitness, and we don't want to be caught stranded. We saw, you know, Ellis Park, you know, what Australia did to us. It can happen, that it can kind of fall apart, you know. Lungs burning, all of a sudden a couple of breakaway tries, and you know, you kind of left wondering. So yeah, take a look at my team. Let me know your thoughts. I'll be interested to hear. And otherwise, yeah, it's so exciting, isn't it? It's seeing all the commentary, it's finally coming. It's finally here, and it's really awesome. It's huge. So from Florida in the USA, I'll say cheers, and I'll be at the game in Baltimore. So building up to that, please like and subscribe on my channel, my new channel, Nick Watches Rugby. And yeah, let's see how the week goes, and let's wait for that team to be announced. Cheers.